5 years ago, I decided that, so I realized my passport was expiring. So instead of just going to the consulate here in Portugal, in England, doing the normal process, which is you book an appointment and then you go and wait and you do you queue in and then you do your documentation. So I decided it was best to actually go to Portugal and do it there because I wanted to, have the best of both worlds. I wanted to travel, see my friends and family, and then also do my passport, two in one. Why not? So I took Talita with me. For those who are from Portugal or have been in Portugal, maybe if you've been in Portugal as a tourist, you don't know this because honestly, it'd be nice to tourists. But our customer service is pretty, well, let's just say that it can be improved. There's room for improvement. In the case of our customer service, maybe 100% improvement, but yes. So we were there, and for some reason, dumb decisions. For some reason, I decided that instead of booking, I don't know, my passport renewal a day before traveling, or even just do it on the day when I arrived, I decided I was going to book it the day we were coming back. I don't know why. But then again, what you do in Portugal is you wake up and you go to the department that you have to do whatever you need to do. You queue in, get your number, and then you get called, and then you do what you have to do. Okay? In principle, this is quite straightforward and quite simple. But everyone wants to queue in because they want to sort their issues out, right? So it was busy. We woke up earlier. I remember we arrived at 7 a.m. and the place opens at 9 o'clock. 7 a.m. we were queuing, and then they opened 9 o'clock, 2 hours waiting. So by the time they opened, it was really full. We got our numbers. We were one of the first ones. So good, great. The flight was only at 4 p.m. So everything was going great. We went for breakfast because everything was going great. Everything was wonderful. And then we came back. We were expecting to be called. The queue was still there, like almost didn't move. So that was strange. But, I didn't say much because in Portugal, if you're the customer, you just wait to be told or to be updated, or the thing is, if you complain, you can even complain, but you have to be really careful doing it because you might end up without your appointment if you complain too much, basically, because it's not as in customer is always right. No, we are service, we are doing you a favor, so calm down. Wait for us. When we're ready, we will let you know. So it was 1 p.m. when I was decided that it was too much of a long wait, and my flight was in 3 hours. So I very politely approached one of the ladies and asked, "What's happening? We've been waiting for some time. Why is that we not been seen?" So one of them came out and said, "Oh well, the machine is broken." But we waited, mind you, we waited for at least 2 hours, 3 hours. The machine is broken, but nobody came out to tell us. So I was a bit annoyed, but I couldn't do much. I couldn't say much. So I politely asked them, what can I do then? "Oh, well, maybe you can go to the airport and then you can get your passport renewed at the airport." That's great because since I'm in the airport, then I can do just everything at once. But what they didn't tell me is that the service was already closed in the airport. So we missed the flight. And I kept thinking, this was just 5 years ago, and in Spain also until very recently, for you to get your services, government services, to get access to them, you actually need to go to the places, book your appointment, wait to be given a number, so you can actually, get in a queue and get your appointment. So it's too much work, because one thing is to go and queue in and just get your appointment. Another thing is you queue in, get a number. So if there is so many people in front ahead of you, and then they don't have enough numbers, you don't get a number. So it's a bit of a nightmare. And in Spain, it was queuing, not numbers. Spain, you queue in and then you get called in. So this was a system until very recently. I know that I've made many things virtual now. So now you can have most of the government services online virtually. In the UK, when I arrived, I remember, because I came from Portugal, I was used to, going to places, queue in, be given a number if I, queue in early enough, and then be called in. So I remember my friend telling me that I had to do something related to the taxes. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, just give me the address and I'll go there tomorrow." She said, "What do you mean give me the address and I'll go there tomorrow?" I said, "Don't I have to go in and speak to them?" She said, "Yeah, but you don't have to go there physically. You call them." And then you book an appointment if they need to see you. And I think we were talking about the national insurance number. That's it, national insurance number. Because for national insurance number and job seekers allowance, and now also universal credit, you do have to call. And now you can also do it online. You don't need to call. Actually, you can just go online and fill in the application form, and then you get an appointment. For these specific ones, you actually have an appointment and you are seen. But for most things in the UK, you go to the gov.uk and you got different accounts that the government has created. So you don't need to go anywhere. Everything is online, but also over the phone if you needed to speak to them, of course. So they have the helplines, of course. But I know obviously there are pros and cons for that, but also there are pros and cons for in-person appointments. But I find it that's so much easier. So if I had to renew my English passport, I just go to the gov.uk website and I'll find the application form, or I go to the post office, find the application form, fill it in, send it, and sort it. But you can't do that for Portugal, but you couldn't, and now you can do that. And so it's very interesting how different systems are in different countries. And when you don't know, you can actually look dumb, or in my case, you can take dumb decisions because you can go around looking for the places, because it happened to me. Going around looking for places that, the government offices, you don't actually just, turn up and be like, oh, hello, I have a question. How do I set up my tax account? So they do have accounts. You have different accounts on the gov.uk website, and you can go there and you can set up different accounts, and then whatever you need to do, you do it on the account. If you have something that cannot be resolved in the account, then you call the helpline and they go through it with you, and it's all sorted. So the pros for me in this case is the fact that it's so comfortable. You can do it from the comfort of your own home, over the phone, or on the account virtually, or you can just call them. It's up to you. The cons, I would say, is that sometimes it's really frustrating, especially if you don't speak the language, to actually understand what you're doing. Also, if you don't know how to navigate the website, the gov.uk website, you can also struggle. But if you know English, basic English, you should be able to open the account, because you can actually put the website on your own language, and you just do what you have to do on the website. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to travel to Portugal. Definitely not to Portugal, and get stuck in a queue and miss your flight. So you can sort out everything on the gov.uk.